I was pimping in Denver, and I took a detective, one of my girls, and he fucked her, and then he arrested me. By the way,
oh my God!
And they were gonna,
oh man!
Hey everybody, how you doing? My name is Brad Sanders.
Ready.
Ha ha! Very funny, motherfucker.
And now, ladies and gentlemen,
Hey, this is Brad Sanders, the host of This Comedy Life, and we want to remind you to like, comment, and subscribe because that pushes the show out to the algorithm and it will enable us to make more shows.
The first thing I thought about was you, when you was always said, I don't want no MSG. I remember when we was young, we looked at you like you was fucking crazy. You was always trying to eat good food, and we're going, man, shut up. Let's go get a hamburger. I don't want no hamburger.
Yeah, I was always into health. You know, since I was 20, I studied it. You know,
those voices that you hear in the background, ladies and gentlemen, are the voices of Dave Tyree and Joey Camen, and this is This Comedy Life. What's up? What's up?
Hey, what's up?
Brad.
This is the program.
Long time no see.
Yes, sir. This is the podcast talking about comedy, the life of comedy, the death of comedy, in comedy, out of comedy, any and everything about comedy and the people who do it. And my guests today are the fabulous and wonderful screen actor, TV writer, music writer, and musician, David Tyree, my man, and the inimitable, the fantastic man with the largest mouth in show business, the man who goes to the dentist's office and the dentist tells him, want to close a little bit? I'm talking about the wonderful, fantastic Joey Camen.
I never heard Joey say that joke.
That was yours? Long. That's a joke from like when I was 18, 19 years old.
That was from the tennis ball, right?
No, I used to do a joke at the end where on my act, I opened up my mouth real wide. I said, do I have a big mouth? Because the dentist used to say to me, you want to close a little bit? But once, if you want to hear real crazy, one time, I'm not going to open my mouth because it looks stupid, but I used to open up real wide like Joey Brown. And Pryor went on after me one night and he goes, oh, I bet that boy suck a good dick. And I go, fuck you, Richard. And I screamed in the back of the room.
Oh, wow. These guys are wild and crazy.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
And Joey still got issues behind that. Look at his face. His face just went sour on us, man.
I got what?
Joey, let me ask you something, Joey. You were one of the young guys when Dave and I were starting out in comedy. What got you into comedy? When did you start?
I started when I was 17 years old at the Comedy Store. My first day I auditioned was on October 4th, 1974. I was 17, never been on stage in my life. And who auditioned with me that same night was Shirley Hemphill. And we stayed friends till she died. Yeah. And within I went on stage. Mitzi loved me. And within 3 more it was Sunday nights back then. Mm. And I did 3 more times on Sunday nights. And she made me a Comedy Store regular at 17. I was performing with the pros, which was quite an amazing feat. I didn't even think anything of it. I just thought, oh, well, this is the way it works. And then I hear stories from people like, are you kidding me? You know how long it took me to become a regular and blah, 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 blah. But Mitzi just liked me off the bat. And I stayed there for more than 25 years performing.
You got there in 74. I didn't come until 76. I wasn't even there then, man.
Yeah.
That's when I came, about 76. Well, I was there earlier, but I wasn't performing. Mitzi had me working the door in between. Yeah. Before I got to be a regular, I was working. Me and Robert Aguayo working the door.
I used to work the door.
I worked the door too.
Yeah, I worked the door. I broke Harris Pete in on the door.
No shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
She had everybody working the door. She paid me part-time. I was a teenager. I had no money. So she gave me a part-time job and I was working on stage too at the same time. But I got fired from the door for gossiping about a waitress who was banging this old guy. And guy had a crush on her. And turns out the old guy owned the friggin' building next door that was the main room that Mitzi bought it from. He was a Jewish gangster. And he's like threatened me to stop talking about this girl. And Mitzi thought it was
he
really
dead
funny.
Now or alive?
Oh, he's dead.
Okay.
But this guy was like a serious gangster. And he owned the main room, which was a club called Art Laboe's at the time. Before that, it was the world famous Ciro's, where Marilyn Monroe performed and Sammy Davis, and it was the biggest. The Comedy Store, people don't know, the Comedy Store main room was the biggest nightclub in Hollywood. Before it was the Comedy Store, it was Ciro, Ciros.
That's how I went into the Comedy Store, because I was doing songwriter showcase at Art Laboe's showcase, and I was playing guitar and singing, and
I didn't know that.
I came out and I said, "What is that?" They said, "That's the Comedy Store." So I went in the Comedy Store and said, how you get up there? How you do that? Because I was singing and playing guitar at first.
Well, that's cool. I didn't know that, Dave.
Oh, yeah. Me and Robert were the doormen for there, and for the main room when she first opened. I think, I forget who was the first performer she had there, but Mitzi came in, the room was full, and she said, "Where's all the money? There's no money here. The place is full, but there's no money." Me and Robert were taking people in the side door for $20 each. We had all the Mitzi,
No, Dave.
oh, yeah, we got her good, man.
Man, that's awesome. You know, they didn't pay, the Comedy Store didn't pay any money till like 78. Mitzi was making all the money and like dicking the comedians.
Yeah, that's why we went out on strike and formed the American Federation of Comedians.
Yeah, I never joined that thing, but American Federation, that was a waste of time. Somebody made some money off those dues.
We
got paid. Everybody got paid. It wasn't a waste of time. And
okay.
Well, not
you know
even
better
the
than me. I'm
Teamsters.
just
Let me tell you something. Not even the Teamsters crossed our picket line. That's why we won.
Wow.
And if
Brad, does that still exist?
Oh, no.
No.
It's that the people. Most of the people are still around, but yeah, never disparage the American Federation of Comedians.
Okay, I apologize. I didn't know. I just didn't join it.
You didn't have to join it. All you had to be was a comedian. The point of the whole idea.
It's so long ago, I don't remember, but I thought.
Well, that's why I'm bringing you up so you'll know.
Maybe I was.
It wasn't about you joining the organization. It was about the people banding together to make sure that the Comedy Store started paying.
Yeah,
that's what happened. That's what we did.
Well, it got paid. The two guys behind the strike that were really influential in getting us paid were Paul Mooney and Tom Dreesen. Do you think they were influential or not? Maybe I'm wrong. Or the real deal?
Okay, here's the tea. All right, Jay Leno, Tom Dreesen were working in Vegas. Tom was opening for Sammy Davis Jr. He was going to these rooms in Las Vegas, and then he'd come back to the Comedy Store in the main room, and there was this same size audience in Vegas. They're getting $10,000 a week and better. Yep. Same size audience was in the room, but the comics weren't getting paid at all. The rule of business, if you are bringing money into the business, you're supposed to get paid. And that wasn't happening. And Mitzi staged it as, well, this is a school, this is a college, this is where you come. Yeah, well, okay, where's the money? And to your point, and actually to my point, she said, the room is full, where's all the money? Okay? And the money was going out the side door. But we're bringing money in. And when the Teamsters Union refused to cross our picket line, that meant no booze, no napkins, no nothing that you run a club with.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
No, you didn't know that. That's why I'm letting you know.
No. You're informing. I know a lot about the Comedy Store history, but that's a piece I didn't know. Thank you. No, seriously.
I lived that because
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and just like
I'm from Detroit, and we Teamsters. Detroit's a big unit town. The Teamsters were major there, so that's awesome that they did that.
Teamsters are major everywhere.
Oh yeah,
I got a call from Universal Studios one time. We'd like to book you to do blah blah blah, but when you come around to the back, the rear of the building, because there's something going on, and the Teamsters. I said, wait a minute, what? Well, there's a strike and blah. I say, hey, I don't cross the Teamster picket line, period. Get somebody else.
Good for you.
The Teamsters had our back. The Teamsters is what made the idea work. Anyway, after they came back and says, this is ridiculous, this has got to change, that's when we all started coming together.
Well, Leno was hilarious on the picket line because he was dressed up in army fatigues and he'd run around going, "Comedy police, comedy police." He was so damn funny.
A good guy.
It really cracked me up.
But Dreesen was the first president, and he was the one that really every day. First of all, Dreesen and I would get on the phones. Okay, what's the deal for the day? And we talked to each other about what happened the day before, whatever, who said what to whom. Tom Dreesen was the point man. He was the guy that was negotiating. We would meet at his house, and we would discuss strategy. Dreesen would go to Mitzi and says, "Well, this is what the comedians are saying." And one thing led to another. Then we went out on strike. And I don't want to bore the audience with all of that, but that history that's the real deal. And, God bless Mitzi, because she did a lot for a lot of people. But doing the show for a night for 2 drinks and all you can eat from the condiment bar in the back, all the olives and the pearl onions you could eat, that wasn't cutting it.
That's how she bought all them houses. Hey, one time Mitzi called me up and said, "David, I need you to come over and do something for me." And I went over there and I pulled in the driveway and I got out the car and Steve Landesberg stepped out from behind a tree and said, "What are you doing here?" Scared the fuck out of me. I'm going, "What you mean? What you hiding behind a tree for?" He said, "I'm just seeing who's coming up here." I'm going, "What the fuck are you?"
Well, tell the audience, if you don't know who Steve Landesberg is, Steve Landesberg was Mitzi's boyfriend, but he was also in a show called Barney Miller where he played Detective Dietrich for several years. Great guy.
Well, Dave, what got you started as a comedian? Because you and Joey did work together. So tell me about that.
What got me started was coming out of Art Laboe showcase. I play guitar and I wrote my own songs. Then I did the showcase there and I just came out and I watched for a couple weeks. Then I had a couple of glasses of wine and I said, "Fuck it, I'm getting up there." I got up there, and I got hooked. I just got, once the people started laughing, I was hooked, man. I couldn't stop going. I said, "Man," and then I would sit around and wait for a time to, I would sign up and she'd ignore me a couple times, and then all of a sudden I started getting spots, and I said, "Shit, I'm doing this." So it took me about 2 years, and then I was a regular and wasn't a doorman no more, and I had spots, and I was just kicking it. I was just going. That's what got me going. I met Richard Pryor in Denver, and I went to his show, and I sat down with him after the show and had a cocktail with who is now my wife, and Richard thought I was a pimp bringing him a hoe.
What? Wait a minute. Say that again.
Go back again.
Hold up, Joey.
I went to Richard Pryor's show. I was a pimp in Denver. I was a cab driving pimp, and the word got around when I was at Richard Pryor's show, and I was sitting at a table talking to Richard with my girlfriend. She was not a hoe. I had 3 hoes and a girlfriend. And Richard got it in his head that I was bringing him a girl. And I had to clean that all up. And then I got his number and he said, "Well, when you get to LA, call me." I called him first of all, they arrested me for procuring and soliciting. I was pimping in Denver. And I took a detective, one of my girls, and he fucked her, and then he arrested me.
Oh my God!
And they were
oh man, Tyree!
They were going to make an example of me and give me 6 months in the county. So I snuck out of Colorado to California. When I got to California, I called Richard, and Richard said, "Who is this?" I said, "David Tyree. I met you in Denver a few months ago." He said, "Nigga, fuck you. I don't know you." He gave me his, and when I saw him, what's funnier than all of that, when I saw him at the Comedy Store a couple of years later, as soon as I brought that whole scenario up, and I said, "I'm going to whoop your ass because you told me to call you, I called you," and he just took off running down the hallway at the Comedy Store. He just ran it. I'm running after him. And Rashad grabbed me and said, "What you doing?" I said, "I'm going to beat that little nigga's ass." And Rashad said, if you beat his ass, Dave, I got to whip your ass. He said, that's what my job is.
Rashad is Richard Pryor's famous bodyguard for like decades. Rashad scared the shit out of me. I barely said 2 words to that guy. He was a scary dude.
What Rashad would do, that's how you knew Richard was going to come, because you see him first. He come in and spot the room, make sure everything was legit. Then Richard came in. And Rashad, as Joey said, and you're absolutely right, he was not to be messed with.
Oh, yeah.
He was scary. And when Richard got, when he had multiple sclerosis, this is what I saw. This is pretty kind of wild. When he had multiple sclerosis, he was still drinking, and he wasn't supposed to. So I remember I used to see every time he got a drink, Rashad would go over and smell it to make sure there was no liquor in it.
Dave, what kind of pimp was you with a heart?
A girl told me, she said, nigga, a good hoe would pimp you.
Unbelievable. Tyree, unbelievable. Oh, before we go on, I got to tell you, Dave, Tamayo Otsuki told me to tell you hello. She was going to be here in Burbank, and I was going to surprise and have you, but she ended up getting kind of sick, and she didn't come. But she wanted to tell me, tell Tyree I say hello. He's fantastic. He's so funny.
She used to tell me, because I could talk to damn near anybody. But Tamayo, I said, one time we were working together somewhere, and I said, why are you with that motherfucker and talking about Sam? And she said, because I like to suck dick.
She said what?
She said, I like to suck dick. And
oh my God.
Joy heard you the first time. He just wanted to hear it again.
No, it's breaking up with the audio in here.
Anyway, I said, well, why you gotta pick Sam? She said, because his dick is not too big.
Oh my God. Tamayo is hilarious. Tamayo Otsuki was a very famous comedian from Japan, and she was on a TV series called Davis Rules for a couple of years in the 90s, and she was a staple at the Comedy Store, very funny, and she dated Sam Kinison. She was Sam Kinison.
I wasn't gonna tell anybody Sam's last name. You telling people too much. You gonna get us.
Oh, I didn't hear you say that. I thought you did say Kinison. Well, fuck him. He's dead.
I just said Sam. Ain't nobody, let them guess what the hell Sam
was. Oh, it's too funny.
Oh. Okay, look, you guys. Y'all going to have to curtail some of that goddamn cussing. Every other word out your motherfucking mouth can be dick, cocksucking, pussy. Look.
Sanders. Oh, what kind of bullshit is that?
Okay, that was some of my bullshit. Okay, go resume. So what was you talking about, Dave?
I was just talking about when I met Richard, I was going to beat his ass because he told me to call him when I got to California.
Right.
I'm coming to California in a hurry because I didn't want to do no fucking 6 months in prison. I mean, in the county jail to be an example for procuring and soliciting. And so I actually thought he meant call me when you get there. And
he was just doing a Hollywood thing.
Yeah, well, I wasn't hip to Hollywood. I was just doing what I do in Denver.
Dave Street.
Huh?
I said, Dave is street, man.
Oh, man, I was dangerous when I was young. I ain't that way no more, but I was dangerous when I was young. I pulled it. You ever see that movie, Pimps Up, Hoes Down?
Yeah.
Okay, Cherokee was my mentor in Denver. Me and him, he was teaching me the game. One time I pulled a pistol on him and stuck it underneath his chin. I said, nigga, you gonna get, because he took my best girl. And I pulled the gun on him. I said, you gonna give me my bitch back.
Damn, Tyree.
He said, Dave, you don't understand how to play the game. I said, what you mean? He said, I didn't choose her. She chose me. If my girl comes and wants to go with you, she can go. I'm not going to pull a gun on you. Why are you pulling the gun? I'm your friend. These are just bitches. I said,
my God.
I said, oh. And
all of this is part of this comedy life. Lord, have mercy. I'm going straight to church after this damn podcast.
You know who was just as was badass, but not as badass as Tyree? What I'm finding out was Johnny Witherspoon was.
Spoon wasn't no joke.
I saw him throw them two twins down them stairs. You see him? You remember when they
no.
Oh yeah,
what happened?
Them little blonde haired kids.
Oh,
you remember?
I know what you're talking about. They were a comedy team. The white guy, super white.
Johnny threw him down the stairs because they said something messed up to Johnny, and Johnny said, "Excuse me,"
Wow.
and threw them down one at a time, of course. But they come off the stairs
One at a time, of course.
Oh, they were called the Funny Boys.
Yeah, that's them. He threw them down the stairs.
And they became like major sitcom producers after that.
Really?
I didn't know that. What's their name?
Yeah. I could tell you their names, but maybe I shouldn't.
Maybe not.
Oh yeah. That's right. I thought my bad.
Maybe not. Well, they're gummit, man.
Well, and Spoon shot down what's his name, Eddie Murphy. He jacked him up too. You know?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because he told him he did too much time on stage, and he got in his face.
What?
Yeah, Spoon. People just know Johnny Witherspoon as Pops. No, when Johnny Witherspoon was young, he'd kick your ass. Johnny was tough.
But Johnny was not a mean guy.
No, he's not. He was a sweet guy. But if you did something wrong, I'll tell you, Johnny. You want to hear Johnny Witherspoon's story? Like Mitzi used to have this limousine. She bought this old limousine that she would drive the comedians down to the comedy store.
That's the one she gave Harris Pete.
Yeah,
and he started doing graveyard tours with it.
Right, but before that, we're driving down. It's me and Johnny in the back of the limousine, and we're driving to La Jolla. And we got on Sunset Boulevard right by Doheny. And the guy that was driving it was one of Scotty Shore, Mitzi Shore's oldest son, friend. He lights a joint right up about Doheny, right by Mitzi's house. And he lights a joint up. All of a sudden, Witherspoon goes insane. He kicks this guy in the back of the head and he goes, "You motherfucker! You don't smoke weed when you driving me, you." And he went, I didn't say a word because he turned into a different person. Kicked him in the back of the head. The guy put the joint out, didn't say a word all the way to La Jolla. Not one word. And this guy was like, Beverly Hills white kid, he never ran into a Detroit street guy like Johnny Witherspoon, and he didn't say shit. He just drove us, and we were bullshitting in the back all the way to La Jolla. Just drive, boy. It was unbelievable. Witherspoon
he was a good guy.
Great guy. Great guy. We were friends till he passed.
One time, did you ever hang out with him, Brad?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't wait a minute, because I didn't know. Well, I didn't hang out with you all the time. I mean, a lot, but I used to hang out with Johnny, and me and Johnny did a lot of drugs together. I don't know. I never thought you did. That's why I asked if did you hang out with him?
Well, no, yeah. Well, I mean, drugs don't have to be everywhere, Dave. I mean, you can know a guy without drugging with him, Dave.
Not in the 80s. You couldn't.
You hung out with me, and I didn't do drugs.
Well, yeah, but I did my share, but
I didn't.
I did.
Well, let me tell you what I'm trying to get a word in edgeline because I'm dealing with two comics. Shit, I'm gonna have to pull a knife on one of you, motherfuckers.
All right, I'll be quiet.
No, I don't want you to be quiet, man. I'm just going to bust in. Everybody be laughing at damn Brad. Is Brad the host of this shit or what? But no, but I was going to say though, John, man, one time we all went out. When I say we, Marsha, a bunch of comics, we was out to Rich's house. And I was what now?
In Century City.
No. He went out with us somewhere.
Northridge,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, the point is, I wasn't really part of it. I was like a tag along. I wasn't invited to Rich's house. So I stood out because I wasn't going to go in there and have somebody say, "Who is this nigga?" So what I did, I just stayed out by the pool and talked to Rich's grandmother. And she was sitting out there, and over on the other side, then Jane Kennedy was playing tennis with somebody. And when Jane Kennedy was outside, I didn't need to be inside.
It's good looking.
But Spoon did. Spoon came and got me, man. Come on, Brad. Come on. Maybe feel like you part of the thing. Come on in. And another thing Spoon would do when you came in from out of town, especially like if you was from Chicago, Chicago and Detroit like this, And so he would make you feel welcome and just let you be a part of what's going on instead of feeling like an outsider because you didn't know nobody. He'd come in and give you that warmth, man. He was just, shit, let me tell you something. I got in the Hollywood Shuffle because of Spoon.
Wow.
Because I had borrowed Spoon's tuxedo. I had got one of them hoity-toity gigs in Palm Springs, and I needed a tux for it. And as a matter of fact, to give you an idea of what kind of people was there, Nancy Sinatra was putting it on. And this little girl comes up, they were collecting money. This little girl comes up, little bitty girl, I mean like maybe 3 years old. She comes up with a check for $50,000.
What?
Yeah, she just brought the check up because the person who wrote the check didn't want to be seen. It was that kind of party. Well,
Wow.
anyway, I was bringing Spoon his tux back, got it nice and everything. And he said, bring it down to the to the rehearsal hall in Hollywood. Now, you know, I said, okay, I'll bring it down there. And Robert Townsend was in there rehearsing. Some people said, yeah, this young brother here, man, he's going to move this man. This young brother going to do some shit, I'm telling you. I said, yeah, okay, cool. He introduced me to Robert. You know, and Robert, he was busy with his cast or whatever. We didn't know each other. But Spoon said, look, we're going to be recording over here. Come down there. I come down there and I got on a Halloweeny beanie from Hallmark with the little bat wings on it.
Yeah.
And I walked on the set with that on. I'm just healing. I don't know nothing about what the movie is about. There was a character written in the movie that was called Movie Star. It was going to be played by Robert Hooks Jr. But apparently Robert Hooks Jr. got a better gig somewhere else.
You mean Kevin?
Is that his name? Hooks?
Yeah, Kevin. Robert's the dad.
Oh, Robert's the dad. Okay, thank you for that correction. Well, he did not show up for the gig. So when Robert Townsend saw me, he started vibing. Yeah. Because like I said, the character's original name in the script was Movie Star. He didn't have no name. He said, yeah. There's a bat in my house. There's a bat. Batty boy. And that he created that character right on the spot. And that's how I ended up playing Batty Boy in Hollywood Shuffle.
That's cool.
And that's
I auditioned for the doorman in Hollywood Shuffle, and I didn't get the job. The doorman with the guy who got it was funny, so I wasn't mad. But I auditioned for Hollywood Shuffle and didn't get no part nowhere.
What was the doorman? Who's doorman? What?
The little short dude that played a doorman in another movie too. He was like the gate guard I can't remember the name of that movie, but he was good. I ain't seen him. He might have passed away. I don't know. I ain't seen him in 30 years, and I don't remember his name, but he was really funny. I tell you what, he got in another movie, not that movie, but he got his head rolled up in the window and was driving down the street.
I don't know who that is.
You got me, man.
Oh man, I wish I could think of the name of it because this dude was funny. He was one of them stomp your feet, clap your hands, kind of like a Kevin Hart. But before Kevin Hart, I'd never heard of Kevin Hart when I didn't know who this guy was. And when Kevin Hart showed up, he was famous already. I never heard of him when we was, all trying to get.
Yeah, me either.
Well, actually, Kevin Hart was in a movie starring Guy Torry, and it was called The Last Stand, about a guy who left home, came to Los Angeles to be a stand-up comedian. That was
Guy was a star, right?
Yeah, I was the star of the movie. And Kevin Hart played a ventriloquist, a demented ventriloquist. He would get on stage and get in the fights with his dummy.
Stop that shit! I told you.
I never seen that. I don't know.
Oh yeah, well that's where I first started. That's why I first saw Kevin Hart, man. And I said, this dude here is wild, man. And look at him now. Whoa. That's just a ball of talent, man.
No, he is. But
Spoon, man, Spoon he was just that guy.
Well, Johnny used to play tennis with Shirley Hemphill.
Yeah.
It was over on Poinsettia Place. It was a tennis court. And I don't play, and I live down the street. And they used to make me come there all. Come on, Joey, come on. And I'd watch them play tennis. And Shirley Hemphill would kick Johnny Witherspoon's ass in tennis. She don't look like she plays sport, but Shirley could play tennis, and she'd beat him all the time. And he'd get so mad because here's Shirley, you know, she's chunky, you know, and everything, and she could play. She'd whip his ass at tennis, Johnny Witherspoon.
Shirley was one of the best people that we had in.
Oh, she was just fantastic.
You remember when she used to show up in her Rolls Royce and start handing out $100 bills? She would walk up and ask.
Well, I didn't get one of those.
I don't know about no $100.
I don't remember that.
Shirley, once a month, once every 2 weeks, something.
That's shocking to me because she was cheap around me.
She was.
Me too.
She came and got me and Levi to work on her show. She said,
Levi Taylor.
What happened to Levi Taylor? I like that guy.
He's a stockbroker up in Washington, Bellingham.
Is he really? Nicest guy, funny?
He ain't nice and he ain't funny. He just.
Well, I thought he was funny.
He is. I was just joking, but
yeah, he was nice to me then.
He's not really a stockbroker. He's a day trader. He does all right.
I hadn't heard that name in a long time.
I got a story about Levi that was just hilarious because one time he came to me and he said, "Hey Dave, can I ask you a serious question?" I said, because we were tight. I mean, me and Levi wrote TV shows together.
What shows did you write together?
What's Happening, and we were like staff on Sanford and Son. We did a lot of shit. What's Happening? But that's where we got produced, and we literally wrote a script, and they didn't have to edit it. That's how it was.
Whoa,
that's great.
They didn't have to. Didn't have to rewrite. They
didn't have story editors go through it. And
nobody. They didn't change the
awesome.
word. Saul Turtletop and Bernie Orenstein said, "You guys are fucking good." They didn't have to rewrite nothing. Me and Levi put that shit on paper, and they produced it just like like wrote it.
Wow!
It was called. That's the one is called Shirley's Fired, and I forgot this. Oh no! Levi came to me and said, "Dave, I got to ask you a personal question." Dave, I got to ask you a personal question. He said, "What is it about me? Every time I fuck a woman, the next week she's gay."
Oh man!
I'm looking at it.
You better leave this in, Brad.
This is staying.
Oh my God!
This is in.
Because I guess it had happened a couple other times because I said, "What?" I couldn't stop looking at him. I'm going, I don't know how to answer that, Levi. I just don't know.
Wow. Hilarious. But you know what? Going back to Spoon and Shirley, when you said Joey and I, our mouths both fell open when you said she was passing out $100 bills.
Maybe I got it a little bit exaggerated, but I know she used to do that to me. She used to come to the comedy store and say, "You guys all right?" And if you said no, she started putting $100 bills in your hand.
Oh my God, I would have been. I wish I was standing there.
Yeah, well, Shirley was great people, man. But what Spoon used to do, people would tease her about her shoes, the Raggedy Jim shoes she used to wear. And Spoon, instead of joining in the crowd, dogging her out, Spoon went and bought her some shoes and gave them to her.
Is this when she had money?
I don't know when. No, this was probably, I'm going to say it was before she had money.
She always took care of her mom. She brought her mom out here, always just taking care of her mom.
Who was that girl who used to take care of her?
Oh, you mean Claire?
Yeah, Claire, that's it.
It was her girlfriend. And she was like trying to do stand-up and stuff. It's a sweetheart. They were really good friends. Right. Dave, you told that story I was telling Brad about it, but I don't know if you want to tell it, but about Mooney, when Paul Mooney, when you were wearing some kind of sweater or something, and you posted it on Facebook, so you probably don't mind. The world sees that.
Who posted it? You posted it?
You posted it on Facebook. That's the only reason I know about it. You were wearing some kind of weird looking sweater or some shit?
I love Mooney more than my wife can't stand Paul. But I love him. He was the best. He told me one time, this is the God truth. He said, "I'm doing," and I was killing in the main room. And Mooney came up to me and said, "Nigga, you need to go back to singing and playing the guitar because they ain't going to let you in." I said, "What you mean?" He said, "The comedy world is not going to let you in. You scare these motherfuckers. I don't care how much they're clapping and laughing in here. Go back to the guitar and singing."
Damn.
Hey, man, he was fucking right.
I saw Paul Mooney recently on, I don't know if it was Netflix, one of the streaming channels, and he was the comedian at this like super strip club where the women was walking around nude. And there was, what?
That's crazy.
Oh, I thought maybe you knew where it was. But
No.
One of them, you know, between shows, this tall, thin black woman, young black woman, she came out and she was doing Paul's makeup and she's taking her time and she's just gorgeous. And I can't find that damn show no more.
I didn't see it, so I don't know.
They might have pulled it off then. You know, I don't know.
It was incredible. I mean, I can't. What kind of club is this? Everybody's naked in here, except the audience.
You mean the girl doing Paul's makeup was naked too?
Yeah.
No shit. I don't know nothing about it.
These were immaculate looking women.
Well, now was Paul young then, or when
No, this was like semi close to the end.
Oh no shit.
How's Cleveland, Dave? I thought you were in Cleveland.
I'm in a little town south of Toledo.
You sure you want people to know where you are, man? Because you done said a lot of shit.
Hey, Brad, I don't care. They can come get me. But yeah. I live it's about 80 miles from Yellow Springs. You know about Dave Chappelle's club, right?
My best friend went to college in Yellow Springs.
Antioch,
yeah. I went up there. Shit, I went up there. I was out there selling ribs.
You know, I'd never been to Ohio in my whole life, and I lived in Detroit as a kid.
We used to go to Detroit every weekend when I was a kid.
Yeah.
You heard of this place called 20 Grand?
I've heard of that. I never went there because I left home when I was at 17, so I wasn't old enough to go in the club.
Man, I heard about the 20 Grand in Chicago before I ever went to Detroit, man. That thing was legendary.
Willie Tyler used to play there, I believe.
The Big Four in Detroit?
No.
The Big Four, no, I don't know that.
It was four. There was like 10 sets of 4 black cops who would ride around in Detroit and terrorize black people. They called them the Big Four because there was never the same Big Four, but it was four black cops in one car, and if you was messing up, they would show up, beat your ass, and send you back to where the hell you came. The Big Four, everybody knew about the Big Four back in the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
Detroit is dangerous. Detroit is dangerous like Chicago. Detroit is serious.
We had a guy in Chicago called Glove.
Glove?
Yeah, and he was notorious for jacking people up and not taking them to jail.
You ever heard of Scatterbrains in Cleveland?
Yeah.
Scatterbrains was
Scatter.
Yeah, that's Cleveland.
Scatter. Tell me about Scatterbrains.
Oh my gosh.
Tell me your favorite joke. This supposed to be a comedy show.
Okay. My favorite story about Scatter was somebody told him they was arguing with somebody, and they said, you can kiss my ass. And Scatter said, I'm gonna get me a 2x4, soak it in creosote for a month, set it on fire, then I'm gonna kiss your ass.
Oh gosh.
Scatter.
Oh,
man, I heard about him before I left Chicago, man.
Well, was he a cop or was he just a...
That was the baddest pimp in Cleveland.
Oh, a pimp. Okay.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Good Lord, man. Well, Dave, tell me your favorite joke you like to tell on stage, just because you liked it and the people loved it. And just think about it for a second, because I know you got many.
Because I don't have really no favorite, because I never did jokes. I just did story.
Well, that's the same thing.
Okay. Okay, all right, I got you. All right, I'll think of something. Let me talk.
I want to hear some more about them songs, man. And and them shows that you wrote. Now, you wrote What's Happening.
And I wrote for Malcolm and Eddie for 2 years. And then our stuff, when me and Levi we were staffed behind the scenes because they couldn't actually, but Turtle Taub and Ornstein, you heard of them, right?
Of course.
Okay. They hired me and Levi to do a bunch of shit, and then they would get the credit. They paid us, but they would take the credit after we.
Oh, that sucks.
Hey, no, we were young and didn't know. So because
the residual money would have been serious.
Oh yeah, well like I still get residuals from What's Happening. I still get.
Okay.
And that was 50 years. Oh, shit, 70. That was 77, 78. I still get. I mean, the checks ain't. They're not life changing, but I still get them.
Oh, okay.
But if I would still be getting paid for the shit that we wrote, man, I'm Shirley Hemphill from What's Happening.
Yeah.
Roseanne Barr from Roseanne Show, and Eddie Griffin from Malcolm and Eddie. They made sure that I got my retirement money from the guild, just because you got to be vested to get a retirement package.
Yeah.
So
you're getting his pension, in other words.
Yeah, I'm grateful for them. Everybody hated Roseanne. I didn't. I
love people. Roseanne's hilarious.
You know where I met Roseanne? In Denver, Colorado, at the Comedy Works. And she talking about brains. She was already sending scripts to Hollywood from Denver.
No shit. I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. She didn't just pop in town and start popping. She was building that shit a while before she got there. Now, you talking about them big checks you got. Look at this check I got. Look at this check. You see this check? See if you can read that check. The number on that check.
I got
0.1 cents. Yeah. That goes to your agent.
Yeah, that's my big acting career right there.
Yeah, I've gotten stuff like that.
It cost them 48 cents to send you that 1 penny.
Now, Joey, what was your favorite joke? The one you like to tell on stage?
Well, it's not telling jokes. I did characters. My characters, I did, I would do characters. Like I did a little kid who would tell stories, or I do an old Jewish woman.
Hey, wait a minute. Here's one of my favorite from you. You're the Vietnamese family.
No, it was
you said Vietnamese.
Vietnamese.
Yeah.
Or I'd do a Chinese cop arresting people. The stuff now would be considered impolitically correct. Chinese cop pulling over people and they can't understand them and he arrests them. Stuff like that. It was more character based. You have to see me do it live and move my body and can't just do it with the face.
You did great work like that.
My whole thing, I've been doing a lot of voice work, for animated cartoons over the years and video games where people know me from.
Have you done any theatrical animation? That's what I want.
Oh yeah, I did Cool World. I was a couple of characters, Slash and Cool World. What else I do? For Ralph Bakshi, that was in the 80s and 90s. I used to work for Ralph. Ralph Bakshi did Fritz the Cat, Heavy Traffic, Coon Skin. Those were just.
Hey, watch your mouth, boy. Watch your mouth.
No, that's the name of the movie. In fact, a lot of big rappers, they love Coon.
No, you don't have to.
Dave, you make Joey nervous, man. He's up, bro. You're making him nervous.
He ain't making me nervous.
Yeah, he is. He's scared he's insulting the Negro.
I'm not scared at all.
When you start spouting coonskin, I'm
that coon.
That's the name of the movie. It's a big
Joey.
It's like Conway West's favorite movie.
Joey, it's a
Joey, calm the fuck down, will you?
Okay, all right.
You're among friends, Joey. We're fucking with you. Okay.
Okay. Comedians don't take jokes too well. You know that, right?
No, I do not know that.
I take a joke pretty good.
No, I
can too. I've been around them too much. I have to be able to take a joke good.
Yeah. But they're serious guys. You consider yourself serious guys, right?
No, I don't.
What do you mean? When you say serious guys, what does that mean?
Comedians are serious people, I believe.
Well, they're not all the time serious, but
not all the time, but
you are a serious person. I mean,
yes. Well, you have to know the serious. You have to know the serious side of life to know the funny side of life.
Well, yeah, yes, Joey. Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
I got a question for both of you. What's the best pussy you ever had?
Oh shit! I'm not saying that. I'm married.
Yeah, I'll tell you what the best.
His wife has heard him say this shit.
Wait a minute.
She knows he's crazy.
Have you ever had sex with a chick that had the flu?
Wait a minute. Say that again, bro. What was that?
Have you ever had sex with a chick that had the flu?
No.
Not knowingly.
That is the best pussy you ever had.
So crazy.
This girl had a fever about 105. And I was sliding in there and I started squirting before I could even get in there good.
Oh my gosh.
That dude is fucking gone. He's gone.
He's totally insane.
Yeah, wait a minute. That's not insane. That's just life. I'm talking life.
If she's sweating like that, why even go near it?
She wasn't sweating. Don't you get it? She had a fever. She wasn't sweating. Her body was 105. And
how old was she?
Oh, God. I don't know. I can't answer that. But it's a memory that's embedded in my brain. So for years after that, I always ask girls, are you feeling okay? Are you sick? Because I want to get back in there.
That's too funny.
I think that's the mental institution calling Joe.
No, I'm not answering that. Let it go to the.
No, I thought they were calling for Dave. Dave.
The men in the white coats are calling for Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's over here.
Well, man, look, I got to get out of here, man.
Well, I thought, why we got to get out of here? What time? Oh, it's an hour. I'm sorry. You said it was only going to be an hour. Well, it's good to see you guys.
Well, wait,
Dave.
Oh, I thought he was wrapping it up.
I don't know.
The serious side of your life as a comedian, when the serious things happen in life, how did you cope with that?
Comedy has always gotten me through because my childhood was so bad, and family upbringing, parents, siblings, all that stuff was just, I mean, I had a plan at 15 to move to California at 17. Now, what kind of environment are you living in to do that? You know, it's got to be pretty bad to get your butt 2,400 miles away on your own money, no parents giving you nothing, to come to California on your own as a 17-year-old child, really. So my life was, unless it's looking back, I didn't think anything of it then, or I did, I just didn't express it, to have the ability to express it. But as an adult, and, you know, I've written a book about it and everything.
Mm-hmm. I read your book. It's a great book, too.
Yeah, it's called Laughing Through the Pain. Is what it's called. It's on Amazon. Comedy's always gotten me through life in general. And, you know, those things, childhood experiences, you know, you take those with you for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You never really get over them. I mean, you acknowledge them, and how you react to them is how you react to them. And if you take that into your adult experiences, you do. Just don't try pushing them off on anybody else, you know.
Yeah.
Well, Richard Pryor once told me, we were sitting in the steps of the up to the belly room, which is in the Comedy Store, and he was all messed up from divorces and stuff. And he just turned to me and he said, "They can take away everything, but they can't take away your stand-up." I'll never forget that.
Okay,
that's what he said to me.
Listen, I didn't have comedy when something bad happened to me, so I just I got to pretend. So I ain't got nothing to say about that. So bad shit happens to all of us. I mean, ain't nobody unscathed. So
that's true. That's
part of how I deal with it. It's just, it was my turn. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing helps, and nothing fucking helps. But I just pretend like she's out of town. That's it. That's all I can.
Yeah.
You know, before we go, what I wanted to say was, when I was young, I wanted to be I don't know if you guys remember. You remember the Chippendale dancers?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I auditioned to be a Chippendale dancer.
And you want to be one of them? I'm thinking about girls. You talking about them guys for the women?
Yeah, I was trying to be a dancer, and they told me my balls wasn't big enough. I said, because you got to wear these little short shorts. And my dick was okay, but they said, you ain't got no package. I said, well, can we put some socks in here or something? Because my dick was okay, but my balls was too little. So I never got to fulfill my dream. I never got to fulfill my dream.
One of the small disappointments of comedy.
Oh my gosh. Well, they might have a senior Chippendales going on that you could join in Ohio.
They said, nigga, you look like you smuggling raisins.
Oh my God. Dave, let me tell you something, man. I'm really glad to spend this time with you and Joey. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, my pleasure, Brad.
Thank you.
Good to spend some time with you after 32 years.
I guess. And look, all you people out there, I hope you will subscribe to the channel, to this Comedy Life. Subscribe, like, and share. So Dave, Joey, appreciate you, man. God bless you.
Brother. Good work. I like what you're doing. Good work.
Yes, great.
Thank you, man. God bless you. Love you, man.
I look too white or something. I don't know what the hell.
That's your white side of your family, motherfucker.
Show the world you're living this comedy life. Get your gear. Click the link in the show notes.